Well, a new social safety net has just opened its doors in St. John's for women facing dangerous domestic situations. Sakeenah is transitional housing specifically for vulnerable Muslim women and their families. It's the ninth shelter of its kind in the country. And joining me now from Toronto is the Chief Operating Officer, Hafsa Patahn. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
So can you tell us more about Sakeenah? How will this shelter compare to others that are already operating in the province?
So, all of our services and programs are based in cultural, racial, and religious sensitivity. Sakeenah Canada was founded several years ago to fill this gap within the mainstream shelter system, where Muslim women simply did not feel safe. We do the work we do because when women and children are escaping abusive situations or homelessness, they should feel safe and they should feel comfortable and welcomed wherever they go. And they should be able to practice their religion freely. They can pray their daily prayers, they can observe Ramadan, and they enjoy their halal food. That's something that we offer at our shelters. Beyond that, we also offer all our services and programs in multiple languages, which helps overcome that language barrier that they might face when they're dealing with mainstream shelters.
And what more can you tell us about the women and the families that you're looking to help and the services that you'll have on offer there?
Yes. So, like I mentioned, all of our programming and our work is based in cultural, racial, and religious sensitivity. We open the doors to Muslim women of all cultural backgrounds, and all of our programming is goal based. So, when a woman reaches out, we don't only provide the shelter and basic necessities that she needs, but we also provide that support so that she can become a thriving member of our society. Each client is paired with a caseworker and a therapist, so we can help them grow and move forward. We help them obtain legal advice, counseling, sustainable housing, and employment. Our house managers ensure that we provide them with a safe space, give them a comfortable environment, and the basic necessities that they need when they stay in our home. So every time a client does move out of our home, she is ready to do so.
And you talked about the cultural sensitivities. How important is that for a woman who's looking to escape a dangerous situation? How important is it for her to go to a place where she's really understood culturally?
It's incredibly important. Before, when our CEO always tells the stories of when before she founded Sakina, how she would hear stories about women who would try to escape an abusive situation at home, and they would go to a mainstream shelter where they would be dealt with more violence or Islamophobia. And some women returned back home because they felt safer with an abuser than they did at some of these mainstream shelters. And it's really important that when women are escaping so much trauma and they're looking for comfort and they're looking for a sense of familiarity, that they're met with that. So by us offering these our by us offering our services that are stemmed in a cultural approach, they can feel a sense of familiarity, and that's so important in helping them move forward and move on.
And why has Sakina opened in St. John's right now? Can you tell us about the timing of why now?
So we've actually been meaning to open for just over a year now. We've been looking for a new location, and before we open up a new location, and this goes for all our shelters, is that we do a very thorough needs assessment. So we look at our own remote casework and the calls that we receive, and we receive quite a few from the St. John's area, but we also speak with local shelters and other organizations in the area to understand that need further.
We know that the Muslim population is definitely growing in this province. What are you learning about how much of a need is out there in this province right now?
So beyond just the growing population of the growing Muslim population in Newfoundland, we also just know the stats when it comes to gender-based violence, and there it's quite harrowing. One in two women over the age of 15 in Newfoundland will experience at least one incident of sexual and physical violence throughout their lifetime. And we always say, and I'm sure you've heard it before in other media interviews as well, is that it's bittersweet when we have to open up a new location. We don't want to do it. We wish we didn't have to exist. We wish there was no such thing as Sakina Canada. And in a perfect world, that would be true. But unfortunately, the increase in gender-based violence is quite devastating. And so, unfortunately, our needs continue to grow.
And I know that you're aware of a court case that's underway in St. John's right now involving the recent death of a Muslim woman, Nariman Abdul Al Ghafour, a mother of five. She was found dead, and her estranged husband is accused of killing her. Court documents show a history of abuse allegations, and the husband was under orders to stay away from her. Now, we've heard some people in the Syrian community who say the system failed Al Ghafour. And for a woman trying to protect herself and her children from a violent partner, what kind of a difference can Sakeenah make?
We can help, and we're end to end. Our caseworkers are some of the most wonderful people that I've ever worked with. The passion that they have for this job, and this is more than a job to many of them. We're always here to help. All people have to do is call into our 1-800 number, or send us an email if they aren't comfortable calling. We are more than willing to help, and we're always there.
Well, Hafsa Patahn, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.